Hi there, it's David Young, the Resourceful Coach, and what we're going to do today, we're going to play the back nine at Corinthians Golf Club, go through a little bit of my data, how I approach each shot, and keep that mind in the right place as we go around. So enjoy the round. It's a little bit cold today. There's a chance of rain we might get towards the end of these 9 holes, so we might get some different conditions as we play. First hole, well actually the 10th hole I should say, because we're playing the back nine, is about a 470 yard, plays as a par 5. That would be, with my data, about a 4.7 hole. It's a hole as a professional golfer I should birdie 30% of the time and par 70% of the time. But it plays all uphill. So it plays probably closer to 520, which then works out at a bang on 5. So it's still a hole, especially this time of year. If I make a 5, I'm very happy with that. But let's see how we go. Yeah, quite happy with that. Down the fairway. First shot of the day. Get it up in a position where we can get it on the green. All good start. Let's go and see what we got. So really happy with the result. In the middle of the fairway. Not the longest of drives. We said it's 470. We've still got, I think, well over 250 to go. So that's only a drive. Yeah, we're looking, just struggling there to pick up the distance. Yeah, amazing. In these cold conditions, probably only hit that about 210 yards up the hill. And that sort of happens. First shot of the day, that can happen. So we're still looking at, we've probably lost a little bit there, okay? But remember what we said, this is a par 5 in my mind, especially in these conditions. Just preferred my lie there is winter, so we use those conditions. And just really looking to get it up there. If I can get this up there now, somewhere within 100 yards, that gives me a good chance maybe of getting that down in 2. But really just looking to put this ball up the fairway and give myself a chance with my 3rd shot. So just a nice smooth fairway wood. I use a forward, nice fairway wood, keep the rhythm. Up the left side of the fairway, that should be fine. Running up there. So really happy with that. Probably about 130 to go. As I said, cold conditions, uphill, playing a little bit longer than we think. And you just got to deal with that. You just got to decide, yeah, that's how it's going to be. We'll get holes in a little while downwind, which will make it a little bit easier. But okay, first hole of the day. Let's see if we can get that ball on the green. I'll be happy with a 5 to start with. So we've got 132 to go to the green. We've hit 2 nice solid shots up this hole, okay? But we can see that's only just over, what have we hit that? 132, 470. So we're only looking at 340 yards in 2 shots. And that just shows how severe the slope is going uphill. We're into the wind. I think when I was driving, it was only 4 degrees. And that's going to be really important for my next shot because we're looking at this and it's slightly into the wind. We've got 130 yards to go. I mean, that should be a nice solid, in the summer, that would be a 9 iron for me, but we're taking a 7 today. Okay, and this is the big thing to learn. Realize the conditions, how these things might affect your shot, and then adapt accordingly, okay? Don't just have a set figure and think that's what it's going to do, especially on a day like today. A little bit of breeze, that golf ball is going to be affected by that wind quite a bit. So I'd like to keep this ball a little bit sort of lower as well. So I'm going to play this a little bit off my back foot, punch it through the wind, even though I'm taking a 7 iron. And looking at the flag, I think it's more at the front. So even if I went a little bit past the flag, that's okay. Don't mind that. So just that confidence to get it all the way up there. That's the important thing. So as I said, a little bit off my back foot, punch it through the wind. I've struck it well, just hope we pick the right club. A little bit left of the flag, but we'll be on the green. Yep, quite happy with that. Always remember, repair your pitch marks, put your divots back, look after the golf course, because again, doesn't matter if it's your course or you're going somewhere else, you want it to be in the best condition it can possibly be. Okay, quite happy so far, as I said. First hole of the day, playing longer than it suggests. Doesn't look like I've hit the ball massively great on these first 2 shots, but the conditions are not making it easy. If I can get out of here with a par, quite happy first hole. So I'm on the green, just going to remove the flag so it's a bit easier for you to see what's going on. And just go through my green reading method of what I do to make sure that I'm clear in my mind what I'm going to do. So I always read my putts from the hole back to my ball, and I'm going to look at the hole and I'm looking at it to see where I think the water would run. If it started overflowing, where would it go? And it sort of looks like it's sort of rolling not far off where my ball is. I think probably just a little bit this way. Okay, a little bit of a twig there. Let's get rid of that. So always this time of year, clean your ball. So mark it, clean it. And it's interesting now, you get here and I start to look at it now, and I'm going to go and have another further look at that hole because it feels and looks very different here. And it starts to feel now, the low point actually, still not far off where I am, but it looks like it's going more this way. So it's actually on a winter green. I could probably play this straight and not worry about it too much. But it's a funny one because I'm on the high ground here, it goes down and then back up to the hole. So it's more of a putt, get the pace right and move on. I'll quite happily take my 5. I mean, how far were we away? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 15 feet. So that last shot, better than average. 25 feet would have been a par shot. So I've got back to a chance, probably about 20% chance I might get out of here with my birdie. Okay, but first putt of the day, quite happy to get out of here with my par and move on. Well, as I said, I read it that way initially, made the decision to go dead straight, didn't break on the winter green, and we got a birdie. So that was a big result. As you see, you can see you're playing a hole there. The first 2 shots weren't anywhere near where I should be, but I kept the mental position that the conditions were causing that. I felt like I'd hit 2 good shots and hadn't even hit it 400 yards after 2 shots. Because I kept calm, I hit a lovely 7-iron into the green, and then we've holed that 15-footer. So already 1 under par. We've gained a bit on what we should be doing at that point. Let's go play the 11th, a really good par 3 over 200 yards. So the 11th hole, 208-yard par 3, great hole. Always a hole, if I make a 3 on this, very happy. Just give you that data. This is a 3.3 hole. This is a hole I'm going to bogey a third of the time as a professional golfer. So if you're a handicap golfer, somebody playing even in the teens, this is a par 4. Get out of here with a 4, you're doing fine. Stroke index is stroke index 6. So it's one of the hardest holes. It's in the top 6 hardest holes on the course. I'd definitely put it in there as one of those. Cold conditions, even though we're now going the opposite way to where we went, where we obviously were going into the wind on the par 5, we're now going slightly downwind because it is cold. As I said, only 4 or 5 degrees. I'm hitting fairway wood here. I want to fly all the way. It's winter conditions. The greens are soft. I know even with a wood, fairway wood, if I hit it correctly, it will land on the green, it will stop. Okay, so fairway wood, I've got my forward that I played second shot down the first, and flag is cut pretty much centre of the green, but I always play a little bit left of the flag here. Just some trees running down the right side. I want to keep away from them. If I can get this on the left side of the green, very, very happy. Just keep that rhythm, keep that tempo. Smooth swing. Right, that's a bit more left than I want. We've got to rely on a little bit of a favourable bounce. Okay, struck that well. There's a bunch of trees there. I can see it's got through the trees, but we're not on the green. We're probably about 10 yards off the edge of the green. Have to work on my short game, see if we can scramble, see if I can get my par that way. But as we said, we made birdie on the first. It's a hole I'm going to bogey a third of the time. It's okay. If we don't get up and down, we'll still level par. So as we thought off the tee, I've ended up a little bit to the left of the green. You can see the shot I've left myself, a chip onto the green. It's now gone. I'm probably going to get this up and down half the time as a scratch golfer. So this is a 2.5 shot. We've lost about 0.2 of a shot. So just to remember how the data works, it was 3.3 on the tee. It should now be 2.3. We're now 2.5. That's a difference of 0.8. Should be one difference. We've lost 0.2 of a shot. Okay, if the difference had suddenly gained, say like we were 1.2 better off, then we'd have gained 0.2. But we've lost 0.2. But it's not that big a difference. Okay, loose impediments, twigs. It's winter here, bit blowy today. Things can come off the trees. Move them out of the way. Leaves, anything like that. Get it out of the way, give yourself a chance. Now, let's look at the shot. And there's 2 things I'm looking at here. Number 1, my golden rule, if I can do it. Can I land the ball on the green? My 2-step rule. Go and look at that video. to understand. Always land the ball on the green if you can, because it should be the best surface. Second thing I'm looking at here with the lie, it's slightly downhill. So what I need to do when I'm playing the shot to get good contact, I need to make sure my weight is going with the slope. So it'll feel like my weight is on my left side. I would normally play a pitching wedge from here because of the conditions, but because I'm putting that weight on my left side, it's going to slightly deal off my club. So I'm going to go to my gap wedge. I'm going to use that, but mentally play it as if it is a pitching wedge. Still land it in the same place and expect the setup to change the ball flight for me. So that's quite an important thing to understand how that will affect it. The green I know goes that way, so I need to be out to the right side of the hole, probably about a flagstick length out to the right, and then it should kick round nicely. So let's see if we can go through. We've got through that theory. Now let's see if we can execute. So aiming out to the right, weight on my left side, narrow stance when I'm chipping, and I'm going to land it 2 or 3 paces onto the green, let it run down the green. Okay, now, all do it, and I've just done it. I could feel I just hit the ground slightly behind the ball, and it's come up short. And a lot of people now after that shot would think, well, I didn't hit it hard enough. It wasn't that. The contact was poor. That happens, okay? We can all do it. So now we've got a bit of a challenge to save my par. But as we said, there's a 50-50 chance I was going to get this down in 2. It's probably now a greater chance I'm going to get down in 3. But that's okay. I can live with that. The tee shot wasn't my best. Live with it, move on. But you never know. Hold a good one on the first. Let's see if we can get out of jail and get a par on this hole. So as I said, not the best of chips, but we can still get out of here with a score. Mark the ball. Let's wander up to the hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 20 feet away. I'm just going to take the flag out so you can just see it a little bit clearer. Go through my method again, process, green reading. Low point is here. So I'm coming across there. So I'm looking at the maximum break. 8 paces. I'd say, again, I'm going to read it as a 2 slope just because it's winter. I'd probably read this as maybe a little bit more break in the summer. But 20 feet, it's an average 2 putt. I'll take that. And the key thing here is not to get greedy. Don't think I've got to make up for the bad chip. It's to look at it and just say, look, it was a bad shot. I deserve a 4 now. So let's make sure we get out of here no worse than a 4. So just to go through my methods again, 2 slope. I'm aiming 16 inches to the side. So I'm aiming about 4 hole widths to the side. Oh, David, hit it. Get up and you're in. Oh, okay. Ended up about 6 inches, well, 8 inches short of the hole. Tap in. Okay, got my 4. Okay, so as we said, after the tee shot, it was a 50-50 chance. Didn't play a great chip. Got my 2 putt. We start with 2 4s. If somebody had said to me I'd made a 5 and a 3, I'd have taken that. Let's go play the 12th. So 12th hole, par 4, just over 300 yards. It's a 3.8 hole. Again, it's a little bit like the first because it's quite a short par 4 and the first was a short par 5. It's a hole on average. I should start to birdie a few times, but about 20% of the time, a 3.8 hole. And you can see through these first 3 holes, we're not looking, even as a scratch golfer, they're easy pars. They're holes that, yeah, I can par, I can bogey. But as I said, we're level par through 2 of our holes, and that's where we should be. Okay, if we can get out of here with another par, we're pretty much where we want to be. Really nice hole, this one. If you can remember it as the 3rd hole, we play down over a pond second shot. Again, normally a hybrid in the summer, but I'm going to take my fairway wood today just because of the cold conditions. Going to aim at the marker post. If I can hit a little draw off that marker post, should be perfect. Let's see what we get. Yeah, dead on the line. Well, I'm hoping now that's going to leave me, well, a wedge or less into the green. So maybe even my gap wedge into the green. Really happy with that. So let's go down and play it. So as we said on the tee, really happy with the tee shot. Right down the middle of the fairway. Preferred lies is clean the ball. And really important this time of year. When you get that ball covered in water, sometimes you get that film of water on the ball and you just lose that strike. So as much as you can, keep the club face nice and dry. Keep the ball dry as best you can in these conditions and go from there, okay? I've got 108 to go, so really happy with that. Again, probably a gap wedge in the summer, but we're going to hit one more club. So just a pitching wedge. Slightly got two slopes here. Ball a little bit above my feet, so that would promote a little bit of a shallower swing, which may promote a little bit of a draw. But more important on this hole, for the guys who play this course, you're on a slight downhill lie. So really important to get that weight, again, on the left side, so you get the strike. So, I don't know if you can see on the camera there, but there's a set of steps going up to the 4th tee box. I'm going to aim at those to let the draw bring me back, and then keep the weight on the left side to get the strike. Nice solid wedge. That should put us right on the flag. Well, let's hope it's the club, because that is all over it. Yep. So I'd say we're probably about 8 feet from the hole. Let's find that divot. So really happy. And it's really strange. Sometimes you stand over a shot, and it was one of those shots where I stood over it and I thought, I'm going to play this well. I don't know why. I just felt confident in what I was going to do. It felt right. Maybe it was just the right distance for that particular club. Felt really good. Committed to it. Let's see if we can get that birdie. So, as you can see, really happy with the shot. Again, just so it's easier for you to see on the camera, let's get rid of the flag stick. And we've hit that ball 1, 2, 3 paces away. So about 7.5 feet. Okay, so again, let's just go through a little bit of data so you understand where we are and what we're doing. For a tour player, this is about a 50-50 putt. I'm a scratch golfer. I don't play as much as those guys. We're looking at a putt here. I'm probably going to hold this probably about a third of the time, okay? So that's quite important to understand, is that when you're looking at these putts, is not to look at it, oh, I'm inside 10 feet, I should be holding every putt. Okay, as an amateur golfer, if you're holding this 20% of the time, you're doing great. No issues on that side as you go through it, okay? So that's really quite important as you go through it, okay? So just trying to, it's on a bit of a slope here, so just trying to get the ball to sit still. And that slope suggests it's going that way, okay? But again, go through my routine, find the low point. Again, my golden rule, everything goes to the bush over there. So this is the low point. I'm at the maximum break, but it seems quite steep. So we're talking probably a 3% slope. We're talking 3 paces. This is going to break 9 inches, and I'm going to stick with that total today just because of how steep it looks. So a golf hole is approximately 4 inches across. I want to come into the hole probably 1 inch off the center up here. Okay, so if I now take 9 inches from there, I'm talking about 2 hole widths outside. That's where I'm going to aim. Hopefully with that camera angle, you'll be able to see that. And really important to trust the idea. It's a little bit downhill, okay? Trying to find something on the green that I can line up to relate to that. So there's a little mark on the green. Just hope winter greens get a nice roll down the hill after a nice wedge into the green. Let's see what we can do. Stay up. Oh, and it's one of those ones, as soon as I hit it, I knew it probably wasn't quite high enough. And you can see it just missed the edge of the hole. So, opportunity lost, okay? As I said, probably a chance there that I could hold that. Didn't quite happen. Still got my par. I'm about where I should be after 3 holes. Let's go play the 13th. So, we're on the 13th hole, 350-yard par 4. It's pretty much a flat par 4 for me as a scratch golfer. Cold conditions, normally I'd play off here in the summer, maybe my hybrid or even my fairway wood. We're going with driver today. Winds across. My natural shape is a little bit of a draw, so I'm sort of drawing it into the wind. So we've just got to sort of go with what we feel. And again, this is the importance of understanding your game. Know what you can do, understand what you can do on that side. Want to get that drive away. Feel like I'm swinging it nicely this morning. Let's see if we can keep that momentum going. As I said, we're level par. Had one really good result with a putt on the first. Didn't play the second too great, and then missed opportunity there on the third, but we're good. We're playing well. Keep that clear, positive attitude. And let's hit a nice drive up here. On that line, hopefully, it gets a good first bounce. Yeah, again, those days where you're hitting the ball nicely, you just got to take advantage of them. So that should leave me probably something between a 9 to a 7 iron into the green. In these conditions, I'm happy with that. So again, a really nice drive, really happy with that. We've measured it already. It's 134 to go. Again, clean my ball. Make sure we're doing that and keep everything at my chance. I'm going to hit a good shot. Don't want to leave anything to chance. And what we're going to do, we're going to use what we've done already today. We had a shot into the first hole, admittedly a little bit into the wind. we took a 7-iron from a similar distance. So I'm going to hit the same shot. Rob's put in what I call a little bit of a sucker flag. If you can see it on the camera, it's cut really tight to the right side. So this is a sort of a mental thing where your brain sometimes wants to go for the flag, but actually I just want to go middle of the green. Don't want to go near that flag. If I end up anywhere near it, I've pushed this shot. So I'm aiming straight in the middle of the green. Got plenty of club. I'm going to play the same shot, that little punch shot. I like that. I'm going to play the same shot again. It's a little bit off my back foot. Nice punch, middle of the green. Let's see what we get. Okay, slightly pulled it off that line. Maybe just in the back of my mind, I was thinking, well, I don't want to go right and end up short-siding myself and ended up pulling it. So it's pin height. It was the right club. But unfortunately, I've probably left myself now a good 40-foot putt for my birdie. But that's okay. If I can 2-putt that, I still get my par, and that's what I should have done on the tee box. Let's go and see what I left myself. So a little bit tricky for me to get the camera in the right place on this hole because, as I said, Rob's cut the flag really tight to the side. I've had to put the camera on a bit of a bank, so it might look a little bit squashed in looking at what we've got. But you can see there's the hole. I'm going to leave the flag in because it's a long putt, and if I get the speed wrong, it might hit it and stop it. But you can see my ball all the way over there. Let's pace it out. So look at it. The low point's running down that way. So again, it's going to be maximum break. This is a very slopey green. If I 2-putt this, I'm going to be very happy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 paces. So we're looking at approximately 35 feet. So this is a putt now. I'm probably going to 3-putt 20% of the time. 14 paces. It's at least a 3% slope, okay, on that side. So we're now looking, what's 3 times 14? We're talking 42 inches of break. So 36 inches is 3 feet. So I'm aiming well over 3 feet outside the hole here. And actually looking at it, again, sometimes your gut feeling feels like it's going to do more than that, okay? So definitely a putt. If I can get out of here with a 2-putt, I'll run to the next 2. You want to give me 2 putts now, I'm going, okay? But let's get it out there. Good 3.5 feet. So over a putter's length, left of the hole. It's downhill to start with, then it levels off, and then I think it goes downhill again. So not the easiest one to get the speed right. But let's see if we can trust that line. 42 inches outside the hole. Stay up, stay up, stay up. Yeah, I'll take that all day long. When I hit it, I thought, well, you can see I am low, but I thought it was going to go a lot quicker than that. But because I got the speed right, got the result, now from there, just finish it off. I've got my 4. I'm very happy with that. Just going to come back here because of the camera. Very happy getting out there with a 4. Really good tee shot. As I said, sucker flag, maybe subconsciously, just changed the idea of where I was going. Pulled it slightly, made the putt a little bit trickier, but we got our 2-putt. We're still level par. Let's go play 14. So 14th hole, we're on the temporary tee. As I said, always off grass tees. We're about 20, 30 yards forward. So it reduces it to about a 390, 400 yard hole. It's a 20% chance I'm going to bogey it as a scratch golfer. And I think that's really key to understand. Keep that understanding that if I get out of here with a par, that's a good score. I'm going to take that all day long. Normally off the back tee, I'd hit, depending on the conditions, either my hybrid or my fairway wood. Because it's cold, I'm going to hit my hybrid today. Again, my shape sort of suits this hole. I get a little bit of a draw. This is a dog leg that sort of goes up and round the corner. So if I can hit my little bit of draw, get it going with the hole, maybe make the second shot a little bit shorter. But because it is what I call a 50-50 hole, it's 50% get to the end of the trees and 50% to the green, I'm probably going to be using this again with my next shot. So this is why this makes it a tough hole. You can't pull out a driver here and knock it down there a long way because basically you run out of fairway. So little draw, middle of the fairway, draw it a little bit round the corner. So mentally seeing that shot, trust yourself, commit to it. Yeah, got the shape. Really happy with that. Again, all depends on the wet conditions. Is it going to keep going? It's going round the corner. Hopefully now leave me a long iron in, but to be honest, I'm really happy hitting my hybrid. So if it leaves me a hybrid shot, I'm quite happy with it, but really happy. Again, as I'm walking down the fairway, I'm going to be internally telling myself, come on, keep it going. Hit some really good shots today. Got to keep that momentum going. Keep encouraging yourself to keep that momentum going and keep that score moving along as you like. If I can shoot level par today, I'm going to take that in these conditions. If I shoot better, it's a bonus. So the 14th hole, really pretty hole. You play down into this valley. I've taken a yardage, it's 184, but because it's so severely downhill, it plays nearer to 170. So that's what I'm going to play the yardage on today, okay? It's slightly downwind, so now it feels a little bit warmer than when we started, but I'm going to take the idea, the downhill bit, the wind, all of those factors, the coldness, they're going to even themselves out. So I'm playing that 170 number. Here's the importance, what we talked about cleaning that ball. Look at the mud on my ball. Okay, just bring that up to the camera. And that ball now could fly weirdly. So get rid of that mud. Get rid of it. Give yourself that chance. So use those preferred lies. We're coming into March now. We've basically probably got a month left, okay, of these. So take advantage of them. Again, you get that mud ball, it could do anything, okay? You really don't know what it's going to do. As we can see, because it's slightly downhill, a little bit like my wedge into the 12th hole, we've got to realise, yeah, I've got to keep that weight on the left side. Okay, it's not so much a ball above my feet. Flag there cut, slightly favouring the right side of the green again. But I hit a natural draw, so I'm going to aim at the flag, and if it draws into the middle, absolutely fine. Again, feels a little bit like the punch 7-iron. I'm going to do a similar shot, all about get the strike correct. Let's trust it, make a good swing. I just want my little draw because we're going right on the right edge. It was a sucker flag. And Rob's got me. I've got the weight absolutely perfect, but I've missed the green by probably 5 yards. Just gives me a little tricky pitch. Let's get that divot. Okay, so got a little bit greedy, and that's because I'm hitting the ball so nicely today. I thought I can take that on. What happened was I didn't quite get my little bit of draw, which would have been lovely. So a little bit of a challenge to come up, but that's okay. I'm up for the challenge. Let's see if we can get out of here with our par. So I've come up onto the green. You can see, I put the camera at this angle so you can a little bit see when I play the shot, the sort of the flight and the roll on the ball rolling up to the hole. And you can see straight away how I've just missed that green. Again, got a little bit greedy. Sensible play would have been that side of the hole more where the camera is, and I'd had a nice simple 2-putt. Now I've got a little bit of work to do. We look at it, I've got only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 paces of green. Plus side is slightly into the wind, so that's good, and it's slightly uphill. So I can be a little bit firmer. And we've got approximately the same amount of distance to go over here to get to it, okay? It's an area that we still mow, which is good, so I can prefer my lie. So that's not a problem over here, okay? And Rob's done a bit of work this week where he's hollow-tined the greens, and just a few of those little pellets that have come out have just ended up over here. So got them away from my ball. Again, loose impediments, get them away from your ball. And because I've got very little green to work with, I'm actually using a lob wedge here. But I'm having the confidence I can be quite firm with it. But my technique, I always play it, narrow stance, a little bit of weight on my left side. And what I'm going to talk about now, just very quickly, is do a few practice swings when you've got a shot that you maybe don't play that much. So you watch a tour player probably do 4 or 5 practice swings on a chipping shot, but only 1 on a full swing, because he's so used to that. Okay, so clean that club up, make sure that's nice and clean so we get a decent contact. Nice and positive, my 2-step rule. Land it onto the green, underhit it. So again, like we had earlier on in the round, didn't really get the club head through the ball. But what have we got left? Just over 2 paces. So I'm just coming up to the camera. Excuse me, getting so close because my putter's there. And let's see what we've given ourselves. Okay, so again, this is where now you can start to mentally get a little bit frustrated and not focus on what you're doing with the next shot, okay? So I'm looking at it, go through my routine, low point there. I don't think this is going to break too much. It's a pretty straight putt. Just got to hurry up a little bit. I've got some guys behind me. I said I'd let them through when they caught up, and they've just caught me up. So I'm just going straight at this. I don't think with the winter greens it's going to do too much, but really be happy if we can now get out of here with my par. Oh, thought we'd got it. Bit of a horseshoe. Okay, so what caused the problem there more than anything wasn't really the chip. Yeah, I didn't play the best of chips, but it was a little bit being greedy with the second shot. That's what's cost me. That's why I've walked off there with my bogey. Okay, we're 1 over par. We've got 4 holes to go. Let's see what we can do. So we've come to the 15th, And again, this is the idea of the mental side of the game. And I'm hitting the ball really well and I'm 1 over par. And it can be very frustrating. You can start to sort of slightly beat yourself up. And we come to a tee shot here, the 15th. You can see, I mean, you probably can't even see a fairway. It's a great tee shot because the majority of the members will play out to the right and then go down the hole. It's a dogleg round. If you remember the 6th hole, there's a pond running down the left side of the fairway towards the green. For me in the summer, I just cut the corner right off. But again, it's winter, so we've got this sort of bushy tree in front of us. That's what I'm going to go over. And if I hit it correctly, I'm only going to have somewhere between probably a 9 and a 7 iron into the green again. It's a 370-yard hole. It's a hole, amazingly. People look at this data, but this is the average of what we do. We're looking at a hole. I'm probably going to bogey this 10% of the time. 90% of the time, I'll par it. Okay, so it's all about getting that tee shot into play and not allowing that last shot or last hole to get in your mind. Oh, I've got to make a birdie. I've got to make up for it. I've got 4 more holes in this 9 holes. If I can make 3 pars and a birdie, I've shot level par. It doesn't matter where that birdie comes from. Don't go chasing. If you go chasing, that's your biggest error, because what you'll probably end up doing now is making another bogey. Okay, so just clear your mind, focus on what you know works. I'm going to go straight over this bush. My little bit of draw will follow the hole and we'll get ourselves back in play. And what we've got to realise is, yeah, you're hitting it well, but stop being so greedy, David. Get that ball in position, give yourself chances. So over those trees, that's fine, middle of the fairway. So again, it's one of those days where the driving's going really, really nicely, and I've just got to start to sort of just calm down. Stop being too excited with those iron shots. Start to hit some greens. If it ends up close, make the putt. If it doesn't, look what we did on the first. We weren't trying to probably look to make a birdie down there, and we hold a nice 18-footer to make that birdie. Since then, we've tried to be a bit clever, and we've made 2 bogeys. So keep the mind clear, focus on what you're doing, and those scores will look after themselves. But we're in good shape. Let's see if we can sort of give ourselves a chance on this green. So I've arrived at my ball and we've let that group through. In that 10 minutes or so that they've played through, the weather has changed dramatically. You can see now it's starting to rain, the wind is picking up. Really happy with the drive. Again, do our normal thing, clean the ball. We've got 122 to go, but the wind's picked up and it's straight downwind. We're going to get that over the next couple of holes. So again, not really paying attention now to the temperature. I'm just going to play my yardage, 122. I'm going to play a nice smooth 9 iron from here, down the hill onto the green. Guys have moved out of the way now. Again, central flag, so it's just a sensible shot, straight at it. It's a little bit downhill, so I'm going to feel a little bit of weight on my left side. It's nice solid contact. If we do that, we should be good. Okay, just probably around about 8 feet left of the flag. Yeah, we've got the distance right. Really happy with that. So this is what I've got to do now. The rest of the round, give myself chances. Doesn't guarantee I'm going to take them, but rather than trying to be too cute and go for the flag too much, I've ended up making, definitely on the last hole, definitely that resulted in the bogey that I made. Here, just been sensible, got the ball in play, giving myself a chance now, probably about a 10-footer for my birdie. Let's see if we can make it and get back to level par. So really good opportunity here. We've just take the flag out again. I've put the camera in a way so you can see the roll of the ball. Let's move that out of the way. And we've got ourselves approximately, let's come from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paces. So 15 feet. Really happy with that. As we said on the tee box, we've got approximately 10% chance we'd bogey this. We're now into a 20% chance we're going to birdie it. So those first 2 shots have gained us about a third of a shot. Still 80% chance I'm going to end up walking off here with my par, okay, which would have taken on the tee, because that's what it should have been, 80-90% chance when we got on there. So just read my putt, low point here. Let's have a look. We've got 6 paces, we said. I think the low point's run into the camera. I don't think this is going to do a lot. It looks like it should go that way, but it's a little bit experience of knowing greens. I don't think it's going to do too much. And again, the wind's coming off this side, so it's pushing it that way. As I said, the change in the conditions in the time we've been out here, quite considerable. Okay, so we're going to go. I'm going to favour left lip. I'm not going to look to get outside the hole, slightly downhill. Let's roll it down that hill. Oh, and it went the other way. Exactly what I said. It looked like it was going to do something a little bit different. Went that way. Just concentrate on this short one, knock it in. So it was a 90% chance I was going to par it, and I did. So I'm okay with that. Much happier. I gave myself a chance. Ended up quite a simple par in the end. Okay, let's go play the par 5 16th and see maybe there we get a better chance to make a birdie. So conditions have really changed now. Got the waterproof bottoms on, got the woolly hat on. It feels like the temperature's dropped about 10 degrees in about 20 minutes, okay? It's raining, so it's more of a challenge. I don't mind this. This is all about golf. We started in okay conditions. It was a bit cold, tiny bit of wind. Now it's quite blustery. So here we go. Par 5, 500-yard hole. So we're looking at a hole. It is about a par 5. So we're quite happy with that, okay? That's okay. Let's mentally do that. And again, maybe if you are playing in these conditions, reset those goals. I'm 1 over par at the moment. I know I've got a par 5, so pretty straightforward hole this. Think I should be making a 5 on this. Next is a tough par 3. You're looking again 200 yards, and then we've got quite a sort of a tough par 4 to finish with because of the sloping fairway. So if I can make 3 pars from here and finish 1 over par, I'm going to take it. So sometimes you've got to just reassess that. And if you're playing in a competition, a lot of guys will get to this point and they'll half give up. If you can keep going, it's amazing what you can score. Now, one of my really early videos was talking about tempo in the wind, okay? So key thing here, don't suddenly think, oh, it's windy, I've got to try harder. Keep the tempo, keep the strike. If you keep the strike, they'll have less spin on the ball, less effect from the wind. So pick my line, going straight over this bushy tree in front of us. We're on a bit of a temporary tee here. And just trust my swing, nice and smooth. Let's see what we get. Well, I couldn't strike it any better. Only bad news on that shot, because I've hit it really nicely, slightly downwind, because we're on the slightly forward temporary tee. I might have hit it, so I can't get over the trees and go for the green in 2. I'm not going to be disappointed. I hit that really, really well. Let's go and see what we've left ourselves. So I've got to my ball. Because of the cold conditions, it hasn't gone as far as I thought it was going to go. So really good. Again, prefer that lie. Clean that ball. You can see this time of year, very easy. Get some worm casts on our courses in Britain, and you can get some of that mud stuck on your ball, okay? A little bit downwind. I've taken a measurement. It's just over 200. I need to hit this probably about 160 to carry those trees in front of me, okay? But we're going for it. Let's give it a go, okay? Flags on the very front left edge of the green. Just a nice smooth swing. Trust the swing and we'll be good. Or just cut a little bit and you're all over it. Just the wind pushed it on down that line. So again, just missed the green, but we're there for 2 on a par 5. So really good opportunity. Get that up and down, make that birdie. Worst case scenario, get out of here with a par, which I'm quite happy with in these conditions. So I've arrived at my ball, finished a lot better than I thought. I'm only about 5 paces off the green. We've got about another 5-6 paces or so to get to the hole, okay? I'm going to putt this because the conditions now are really bad. I feel that if I can just keep the ball on the ground, I'm going to have a little bit more consistency with what I'm looking to do. It's going to break a little right to left on the green. So we're going to play it out to the right. Just a nice firm putt. Anything within a couple of feet, I'll take. Let's see what we can get from here. Yeah, it's rolling down there nicely. Yeah, inside a foot. Brilliant. Really happy with that. But what I did there was I just took the simplest option to get out of there with my birdie, get down in 2. Sometimes the putter's the shot from off the green. We're back to level. 2 holes to go. Let's see if we can get in before this weather really turns nasty. So we've come to our 17th hole, 200-yard par 3, similar to the 11th hole. It's a hole I'm going to bogey a third of the time. And we bogeyed the 11th last time. So ideally, we'd like to par this, and that sort of even it out through the round. Just made a birdie, so we're in good shape there. Now, the important thing is to make a nice swing in these conditions again. Keep that rhythm and tempo going. Very, very easy, as I said. You try to hit it harder. This one's slightly into the wind today, but I just want to keep it nice and simple. Flag end, pretty central, but at the front of the green. Anything behind that, I'll take that. Be really, really happy. Again, just keep that rhythm and tempo. Well, we should be on the green. We're a little bit left of the flag, but we should be on. Yep, that's going to come down nicely. Hopefully, inside 25 feet, might give us an outside chance of nicking a birdie on this hole. Okay, but let's go down and have a look. So as you can see, conditions really have changed here. We're on our penultimate hole. Let's get rid of the flag. Still going as much as we can in these conditions. Stick to my routine. Very easy. Your brain is, oh, I just want to get warm and stay dry. But you've got to sort of try and stick to that routine, because again, that one putt might make the difference whether you win that medal, that competition, or take the fiver off your mates. Okay, so let's read the putt. Low point running down this way. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paces to get to the hole. So we're only looking at a shot there. We've put that within about 15 feet. That's a great tee shot on a hole like this. Take that all day long. So gone from a 3% chance that I'm probably going to end up making a bogey here to now 3% chance I might make a birdie. So that's gained me at least half a shot. Let's lose the brolly. We've used that to keep the putter grip dry. Let's just move that out of the way. And we had 5 paces. Low point was there. It's an average slope, okay? And I'm putting from about 7 o'clock. So it's 10 inches of break at the maximum. We're looking about 40% of that. So I'm looking at this and thinking, all right, it's got to be just outside left lip. Let's see if we can roll it in. That'd be lovely if we can make another birdie here, okay? Oh, just skimmed the edge, and probably just the damp conditions and winter greens just didn't break as much as I thought. I hit a good putt. I'm really happy with that. I'm never going to be disappointed. Standing on that 16th tee, as I said, with 3 holes to go, and now be standing on the 18th at level par in these conditions, going to take it all day long. Let's see if we can go and finish it off, make a par, maybe even make a birdie down the last hole. So on to our last hole. It's the 18th at Corinthians. It's 330-yard par. 4, we're looking at a hole. For me, it's a 3.9 hole. It's a hole on average at 10% the chance birdie, 90% chance par. Keep saying, in these conditions, if you offer me a par now, I'm going to go sit in the clubhouse. Okay, I'll take that now. But hole, little bit of a sort of a camber on the fairway here. Much slightly easier hole in respect in the winter, I think, because the fairway is that little bit softer. In the summer, I think it's the hardest driving hole on the course, because you get that sensation of the ball drifting off the fairway and going down the hill into the rough on the right. But for me, my little bit of draw, if I can aim, you can see a big tree up there on the right. If I can aim at that tree, little bit of draw. It's into the wind today, so again, back to our rhythm idea. Keep it very much within yourself. Make a good swing, okay? One more good swing with the driver. That's what we need to feel. Well, as long as that gets a first bounce straight, which it has done, I'm smack in the middle of the fairway. So again, it's back to so much of my swings about rhythm and tempo, how I've kept that, and that's why I'm playing okay in these conditions. Find that, you'll have a lot more success, less spin on your ball, and that wind won't affect your ball so much. So hopefully this is going to be our last iron shot of the day. We've got 122 to go. The wind is really picked up. It's horrible out here. I'm taking a 7-iron. Simple as that. Just looking to punch it up that left side of the green, get it on the green, 2 putt, and we'll take it. Well, let's hope it's the right distance. The weather's really horrible. Yep, we're on the green. Let's go up, see what we got. Sorry, I'm rushing a little bit, but the weather, just want to get in before it really turns nasty. It's bad enough as it is. So we've arrived at the green. Really happy with the shot. And it's interesting, you saw me play that shot, and it was a little bit like I didn't want to think too much about it. I just trusted what I knew I could do. I took plenty of club and got it there. And that's the key thing. So it might have looked a little bit rushed, but on this occasion, by not overthinking and allowing the conditions to get in my way, I was okay. So let's see if we can finish. God, how good it would be if we can get out of here under par. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 paces up to the hole. I think the low point's where my ball is. It feels like as I'm walking back down, it's running towards me. So I'm going to look at that. It looks like it should come in from the right, but I don't think it does. I think it holds its line pretty well. So we're going to go pretty much straight at this. Again, I won't be disappointed if I two-putt it. It is a pretty much 90% chance I'm going to two-putt this anyway. So let's trust it, straight up the hill. Let's see if we can finish with glory. Oh, I haven't hit it. Oh, David. Giving it all the big one about doing it and then never hit the thing. Okay, so we got our 4 and we've got it round in level par. So hopefully what you can see today, it's a little bit of a roller coaster one. If you've watched my previous round, I shot 3 under for the front 9. It seemed quite a straightforward round. Today, with the conditions and how I was playing, it became a little bit different. But the great thing is that's the challenge of golf. You go out, nice dry day. By the time we're finished, as you can see, windy, wet, horrible conditions. But that's what could happen in a round. And if you've got that game you know can repeat itself, it can deal with all conditions. Slightly better conditions, first 5 holes, I was 1 over par. Conditions got worse, I was 1 under par. Okay, so it just shows sometimes it can actually make you concentrate a little bit more. I hope you've enjoyed my round with me today. I've enjoyed as much as I can in the conditions playing it for you. If you have enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. If you do, press that bell so you get your notifications. So when my new videos come out on every Tuesday and Friday, you can watch them. I look forward to seeing you soon.